Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I love to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto Elder Tahar and the rest of the elders that are firmly pushing this truth. And as always, peace and blessings unto the elect. So this lesson is going to be on what we were briefly touching on at the altar today, which Iran just came out with a new hypersonic missile, which can move. The speed is 5 times the speed of sound, as it said in the article. And then what sparked this lesson was me saying, or me asking myself, when did other nations began to utilize nuclear weapons? And I just picked a random nation, and since Iran was at the topic of the day, I used Iran, all right, because the war that's about to be fought is not going to be like any ancient warfare, pursuant to Isaiah 9 and 5. This is going to be nuclear. And America is the one that started this. America was the one that started this. America came out with that technology. Like it says in Revelation, the 13th chapter, that's when the first atomic bomb was used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Let me go ahead and look it up. When was the first nuclear bomb made? Right? So, it's like atomic bomb. All right, so you see that? So, August 6, 1945, right, the U.S., the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? It was in the 1940s, August 6th to the 9th, and that goes into Revelation, the 13th chapter. So, the same technology that was utilized into basically oppressing these other nations, stealing their natural resources, pillaging, slaughtering the indigenous people of those lands, is how Esau is going to go out, which is beautiful. So really, his blessing done turned into a curse, as his blessing here is the sword in Genesis 27. So let me go ahead and grab that. Genesis 27 and 40, it says that by thy sword shalt thou live. And like I said earlier, when you look up sword, it just means destructive. So anything that's destructive, because it isn't limited by just nuclear weaponry, right? Because that's not the only way Esau obtained dominance over the whole entire world. Right? He used biochemical warfare, right? He used literal swords. He used guns when he shoot our people down the street. And also the bombs, GMO foods, lead in the water, chemtrails in the air. All those things are utilized to hurt people, because when you go into sword, it says the cutting weapon. Also, it says to hurt. It means to hurt. Esau goes around and hurt people. In Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, it says that he is as death, right? It's Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. Let me get that. So this man is just a destructive person all around. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5 says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, which is dealing with his philosophy, his doctrine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. See that? So this man is as death. Anywhere he goes, just know that death is going to follow with him, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that's why America is known as the great melting pot. Right? So verse 40 again, it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And that happened during the time of King David, up until I forgot which king, when the Edomites rebelled. Is in the book of Chronicles. It says, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And this happened a few times during the time of King, no, not King David, but during the time of some king, some Judite king. I forget the name, because during the time of David, when you read 2 Samuel, we had Esau as servants. And then sometime after the reign of King David, a couple kings down the line, the Edomites rebelled and set up their own thing. And also it happened during the time of the Dark Ages, when Esau came back up into power. So now, let's go ahead and read Isaiah 95. Isaiah chapter 9 verse 5 says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood." Yeah, that's how ancient warfare was fought. Let's go ahead and get that. Are you hear swords clinging against each other? Are swords clashing against spears and helmets, right? And the shields. That's how ancient wars were fought. Let's see. Let's go to images, right? This is how, see, this is how ancient wars were fought. All right, see the spear. See, look at that. I see this guy looking scared. That's how ancient wars were fought. All right, tumultuous noise. It says for every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Yeah, you on a horse, get knocked down, and you roll. You literally rolling. You literally see that in movies. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. That's right, burning and fuel of fire, which is dealing with the nuclear missiles. So let's go ahead to Revelation 13 chapter. Revelation 13 and verse 13. Well, I'm going to start verse 11. It says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon," which this beast is dealing with America. All right, and the two horns like a lamb is dealing with the Democrats and the Republicans. And the Democrats and the Republicans goes back to the ancient Roman Empire. The plebeians and the patricians, one favored the poor and one favored the rich. Just like nowadays, the Democrats and Republicans, so-called, favor the poor and the rich. And that's how we know that this is the revived Roman Empire coming back. "And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men." And that's dealing with the bombings. The bombings that Esau have done to multiple nations, starting with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So you got the ball rolling. And then on top of you getting the ball rolling, you helped other nations get nuclear capability. Idiots. Right? Because it says Iran's nuclear program was launched in the 1950s with the help of the United States under the Atoms for Peace program. And in 1970, Iran ratified the Non-Proliferation Treaty, limiting its nuclear program to peaceful use and making its nuclear program subject to inspection by the International Atomic Energy. So that's who helped Iran out into getting nuclear weapons. America. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Let's go ahead and grab this, because now that backfired on you. It backfired on you. This is Psalms 9:15. It says, "He made a pit and digged it, and it's fallen into the ditch which he made." That's right. Esau made a pit. All right. He digged that pit, and now he's about to fall into that same pit which he made. All right. The Heavenly Father put the Spirit on y'all to come up with the scientific formula, the scientific breakdown on how to make those atomic bombs. You used it on different nations, and then other nations started to use it too. You got the ball rolling, and then on top of that, you done helped your future enemy, which is Iran. Hey, so America's through. How America gained its dominance, that's how America's going to go out. Verse 16, "His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down on his own pace." See that? And his violent dealing is going to come right back to bite him in the ass. See what it says. NOT. Yup. It says the trouble they make for others backfires on them. The violence they plan falls on their own heads. That's right, because they planning on nuking China, Russia, and these different nations. But guess what? These different nations are going to nuke you. So let's go to Joel 3:9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Meaning what? Don't worry about agriculture. Just worry about using your money, put it into your military. And that's what's happening. Because not too long ago, I did a lesson, which you won't find that lesson. It was on an old channel that I used to have. That got but that got deleted in like 2019. So that's not even around anymore. So it was a pie chart showing the records of how nations spend their money, and America. It was a graph of America. It was a pie chart of America on how they spend their money. 50% of their money went towards their military, and about 14% went towards their food. So this is literally Joel, the 3rd chapter. And it says here, let the weak say, I am strong. That's right. So these different nations that didn't have nuclear capability, now they do. The weak ones, now they're strong. Such as Iran, East India. All these different nations now has nuclear capability. They have the great equalizer. And it's going to be utilized in the downfall of America. Right? All right, so I did what I said I was going to do by looking this up. Yahweh Desire, you few brothers and sisters were edified. Till next time, shalom.